Michael, hey, congratulations for Outlaw Johnny Black.
Thank you.
Hey, so this is a terrific movie. I love it, especially the fact that you get all that Black Dynamite vibes. But tell us where the original idea came from for you to make this Western.
Well, that was started even when I did Black Dynamite. I always wanted to do this one as a follow up. But in the same way that we lampoon and kind of highlight the black exploitation action movie, I wanted to highlight the black exploitation western, but also do homage to westerns all across the board. And so that's what I wanted to do with this one, and actually, tell a story, but have a message with it.
I found it fascinating is because Westerns tend to omit a lot of blacks in that era, even though 40% of cowboys were blacks back then.
Well, yeah, that's indicative of the time. We probably had about eight black cowboy movies that were kind of considered in the black exploitation genre or that realm. But some of the better known ones was like Buck and the Preacher with Sidney Poitier, who directed and starred in it, and Take a Hard Ride. Those are two of the more well known black westerns.
Now, for yourself, could you talk about directing and starring yourself in a film like this? How challenging was something like that? Especially, I know you're an action person and you have to control your own action, your own stunts, and all this kind of stuff. It must be very endearing.
Well, the action is, I hate to say it like this, but that's the easy part for me. I train. I look at the physicality as something that I get to do, but because I know I'm going to be able to take care of that part, it's the storytelling that I concentrate on. I've sold several things as a writer separately, including like sitcom type things, and the weird thing is, if you line up all my work, I've done more comedy than I've done action. So I don't expect people to realize that because I've got this eclectic kind of career, but this is kind of in my wheelhouse to do this. But it's the storytelling to me, especially with a western, that really drew me to this. And I feel storytelling always has to evolve because there's a story that I enjoy presenting to people the story that they think they're going to see, but that might turn, because people are they can get to be formula oriented, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you got to use that conditioning for your purposes. So that's what I try to do in this movie.
Well, tell us about the development of your humor in this film. I mean, I found it hilarious. I love the dialogue between characters, and especially your character with a lot of monologues from Johnny Black. So tell us this development of humor and where it comes from.
Well, it's just my sense of humor, the things that I really find funny. I'm a child of Monty Python, and I love physical humor. I'm a big fan of Peter Sellers, John Cleese, Steve Martin, and I love character stuff. So I wanted to create rich characters, and that's where the comedy really emanates from. It's not like you're going for the joke. It's the situations that bring about what's funny.
Now, in preparation for yourself, did you enroll yourself into like one of those Western schools to twirl guns and ride horses and whatnot?
No, I've just ridden horses. I've actually competed in a rodeo before, So,
Oh,
but but yeah, a lot of the physical stuff in the movie, I got to tell you, a lot of it I created on the way to the set because I'm kind of a martial art nerd and stuff. So I tend to be able to choreograph things on the spot.
now a movie goes so far, especially in a Western, is with besides yourself, is all the stunt people and the extras that you incorporate into a film like this. I mean, from the bar fights to the shoot scenes. I actually thought I was, watching these good old westerns of old, of people going, falling down the stairs or going through a roof, falling through a roof and such. Can you tell us about, all these people, all your whole team, working together to replicate this? I mean, this is great.
I had a who's who of Western stuntmen, the greatest. Like, just a backtrack for a second. In Black Dynamite, every person who did a minor stunt was in fact, a stunt coordinator. I had nothing but stunt coordinators in the movie doing simple stunts. And for this movie, I had Terry Leonard. Terry Leonard is the greatest living Western stunt coordinator now, right now. I mean, there's nobody beyond it. And that's stunt royalty. I mean, this is the man who's done, the movies for Steven Spielberg. He's doubled Mitchum and all the greats. And just, I mean, you could spend just hours just listening to his stories. So I had Terry Leonard as a stunt coordinator, Pete Antico, and the people that come out to be under Terry Leonard is a who's who in the stunt world. So basically, the deck is stacked in my favor like you would not believe. So it's no question you got some of the greatest living stunt people in this movie. So I mean, I'm like a kid in a candy store.
And one of the biggest thing is that the cameos. I mean, we don't have to reveal who the cameos are, but
Yeah.
did did was it easy to dig into your Rolodex to bring all these people on board?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's my Rolodex, and just what it comes down to it. If people read something that they want to be a part of, that's the most important thing. We didn't have a lot of money to shoot this movie, so of course people were just coming to work out of the love of it and having the opportunity to do something that they'd be proud of. So that's what was working in my favor. Of course, I contacted a lot of friends who, we mutually have a great respect for each other, and so it just was like it was just beautiful. It was just something that we were all proud of.
Excellent. Well, Michael, let me leave with one more thought. I mean, it's not a great thought, but I watch your film all the way through the credits and so on, and I actually noticed that you there was a statement that says no live ammunition was used for this film. I mean, that's a very powerful statement. Could you talk about doing something like that for a Western, of an indie Western like yourself, that for the safety is paramount.
Yes, now understandable. This movie was done in 2019.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I know the tragedy that's happened after that, but there's not necessary. I didn't find it necessary to shoot any live ammunition, and where we have VFX from an amazing company called Occlusion. There was not one live firing in this movie, and but it looks absolutely realistic. And dare I say, I think it looks better than if we did live fire, because Occlusion would supply the smoke that would billow from the shots and everything else. And so I've never been, being somebody of that's done a lot of stunts. I just never think it's necessary. Um, so I mean, yeah. So we're proud that there was never any type of a danger. People are leaving their homes, man, to come to work, and it's my job to make sure everybody feels safe. And if there's not a reason to do that, I'm not going to have that on one of my sets.
Well said, well said. And it looks great on screen and in your film. So Michael, thank you very much for carrying this conversation. I can't wait to see what you follow up next.
Thank you so much.